appreciate you coming to talk.
Of course.
You want to start by introducing yourself?
Hi, my name's Tyler.
Awesome. My name's Brandon. And when you looked at the sign, you said you don't really disagree. So just so we're on an even playing field, I'm going to start by defining veganism.
Yep.
And then you could tell me what you disagree with, all right?
Yeah.
So veganism is an ideology that rejects the commodification of animals, right? So that means we don't use them as products. We don't want to commit rights violations to them. We essentially don't want to use them, abuse them, or kill them for food, clothing, entertainment, or anything else.
Yeah.
So what about that definition do you disagree with?
I don't know. I feel like it's just a lot easier to just not be vegan because of it's just like it's already provided, like all the stuff that's in the market, it's already cut up and just like it's easier, and it's just like it's I'm not gonna say it's like it's good for you, but like it has protein and like it just it's a lot easier to eat. I'm not like it's a complete lifestyle change if you just went vegan.
Okay, so when we're talking about a moral position, right? I understand if you have practical hurdles or something like that, but separate from that, just with that definition, is there something you disagree with?
No, I don't disagree with any of that.
Okay, so you agree that animals shouldn't be killed, shouldn't be eaten for food? Ideally,
yes. Like it's like yeah, I agree with that.
All right, so that's easy then. All right,
Yeah.
so if you don't disagree with that definition, that's exactly why you should be vegan.
Yeah.
As to the objection of, well, it's easier. Yeah, I mean, a lot of things are easier to do. You know, like you could think of a lot of immoral actions that might be easier than not committing them, right?
100%.
But the reason why I'm out here and talking is because we are in a society that heavily relies on animal products, or not relies, but pushes animal products,
like
right?
they want it.
Yeah, and it's a huge industry, and it is something that most people don't even think about doing, and most people don't know how to do. Even people eating meat are poorly educated on nutrition, on how to eat. So, you know, going vegan is a whole nother thing even. So, but once you can make the connection that animals shouldn't be used in the way that we're using them, the practical hurdles are actually a lot easier, right? I've been vegan for almost 7 years. I assure you, everything in the grocery store, so wherever you go to buy meat in the grocery store, you could just go to a different aisle and get all the vegan products you need, right? And not just vegan meat alternatives, that's kind of a luxury, that's kind of for taste mostly, just like animal products. But vegan diets are on average 30% cheaper, and that was a study out of Oxford that came out. And when you rely on whole grains like rices, beans, legumes like chickpeas, black beans, potatoes, frozen fruits, frozen veggies, fresh fruits, fresh veggies, it does end up being a lot cheaper than high quality animal products.
100%. I can see that.
So I guess if you agree with that definition, what's stopping you from going vegan?
Just the whole entire lifestyle change.
Okay.
Like it would completely change my entire life. I feel like if I wanted to change up a new diet completely from like what I'm like based on, like what I'm big on is like eating like well and like trying to like fill my body with the nutrients that it needs, and I'm like really used to just eating the meats because it has like a whole bunch of protein, a lot of calories, and just like I don't know.
Sure. So for you, the lifestyle change would be too much.
Probably yeah.
All right. Now
That's where I was raised. Like like all my life I've been fed like all like fish, like chicken, and like steak.
Sure. So let me test your logic, right? Let me test that reasoning to expand it into other injustices, right?
Yeah.
So let's say you walked into the grocery store,
love burgers.
and half of the grocery store it was vegan food, right? And the other half is just dog meat or cat meat or elephant meat or chimpanzee meat.
Sure,
you know,
unique meats.
right? Meats that we traditionally frown upon in society to eat, right?
Yeah.
Would you be so inconvenienced to go to the vegan alternatives then?
Honestly, I would be inconvenienced because I'm just not like used to the idea of just like I'm like not really open to the idea. I'm not saying like I'm against it. It's just like it's just not like.
Okay. So what you're
easy.
saying is if you walked in the grocery store and all they had was chimpanzee meat, for example,
Yeah.
you would still purchase
I
a
would
chimpanzee meat.
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
All right. So then let me push it a step further then. So let's say you walk into the grocery store and you had vegan food on one half, and then you had human meat on the other side, right?
I'm going
Now,
vegan.
You're going vegan.
I'm going
okay.
vegan.
So here's where we start going into more of the moral, right?
Yeah.
Because with any animal, sounds like you're fine. You would be like, oh, I don't feel like changing the rice and beans.
Yeah,
I
as soon
already
as
eat
it's the
steak.
humans, I'm just
As soon
like,
as
that's
it's humans.
fucking weird.
So what is the difference between other species of animals and our species, which is human, or Homo sapien more specifically, that justifies us having moral consideration, but not justifying animals getting moral consideration?
I guess it's the idea that we can like that I can like spiritually, not spiritually connect, just like connect with humans more so on like a like emotional level. Like I have like sympathy. Like I would feel terrible eating a human compared to like eating an animal, because I'm not like, I can't really like sympathize. I'm not saying I'm like not like empathetic or anything, but I don't think I can sympathize with like animal, like I don't really like,
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
so, and that sounds kind of consistent because you said you'd eat any animal, dog, cat, chimpanzee, elephant, whatever.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this then. If there's a human that you couldn't connect with, there's a human that was unable of having that human-to-human connection, would it be justified to kill them and eat them?
if I said, I mean, like, if I don't really like the guy, and
this is where the logic leads.
if I don't really like the guy, maybe, I don't know.
Because, right, when we're naming a trait as to
Hey, okay, wait. The question is the human good for me? Like, are they going to provide the same nutrients as me? In in a scenario where
let's say because you can get nutrients from plants. So you eat the meat because you're used to it and because you like it, right? You like
okay, sure.
So in the human scenario, you can't connect with them. You've never met them before in your life. They're incapable of forming that connection.
Okay.
But they have the nutrients that
Sure.
meet this.
Okay. In a hypothetical situation where I'm forced to eat maybe a human or go vegan, and I'm already used to the meat, and I don't really like the guy that's a human, then sure, I'm gonna go with the human. I'm gonna go with the human.
Okay. Now here's the thing. That is consistent. So you're actually one of the first people to actually bite that bullet.
Yeah.
But it's not something to be quite proud of, because if you think about that, right, what you're allowing with that logic is a world where not only animals are used in factory farming and raised for food and abused the way they are, but now you're allowing other members of the human race who maybe lack traits that are typical of you and I. Sure. We could think of mentally handicapped people. We could think of children, babies. We could think of a lot of examples where that logic does extend, and I think most people would agree that is a horrible system or a horrible way, right? So
most people would really disagree with that idea, like, oh, that we're eating other humans. Like.
Right, and I would say that if that's really your position, then I guess we're just gonna have to agree to disagree. But I would urge you to not just think about the other side. I would urge you to think about where that leads, and if you were a member of that group. Right. Let's say you were severely mentally handicapped to where you couldn't.
Not saying that there's anything wrong with like mentally handicapped people.
No, it's it's not. If you were mentally handicapped to the point where you were outside of whatever trait you named, whether it be intelligence, human ability to connect, whatever it is, if you were outside of that group, think about what people have used to justify that's the same reasoning people have used for other discrimination, whether it be racism, sexism. They say, oh, well, they're different, they're outside of our group, therefore we can do whatever we want to them, right? So it's the same thing, we're just extending that to other species of animals, right?
I see exactly what you're saying.
Right, and
we got to think from since they are that other group, we have to like be considerate of like.
Right, you got to be able to put yourself in their position, right? That's the empathy part. And I'll give you one further, right? Let's say an alien species came down. Yeah. And they were as far away from us as we are to cows, chickens, and pigs, right? Whether it be intelligence, strength, ability to dominate, whatever it is, right?
Like we would be the smaller, they
would be the apex. Would you want them, or would you think it's moral for them to do to us what we do to other species of animals?
So here's the thing, I would fucking hate that. Okay. But the thing is, this is gonna sound so terrible, but I'm like in such a lucky situation where I don't have to deal with that.
You are, absolutely.
And I know exactly what you're gonna say.
But here's the thing, right?
If the animals aren't in the same situation, and
absolutely, and think about all of the think about how much that justifies. Think about all of the oppression that has happened in the world by superior humans to other humans, right? Whether it be white people to blacks, whether it be men to women, they said, well, those are different than us, don't have to worry about it, whatever, you know what I mean? So if you would say that is immoral, then again, these are all reasons to go vegan.
You gotta apply it to everything else.
Exactly, and I would say that, I promise you, I guarantee you, if you truly feel like if you can truly make that connection, the inconvenience, again, I did research for about 6 months to a year before I went vegan. I went vegan overnight, and then as you just learn as you go, you make mistakes. Yeah. You start with one meal at a time. Veganize one meal. Yeah. So go to the grocery store, instead of doing steak, potatoes, broccoli, whatever you do black beans, potatoes, broccoli, or black beans, rice, broccoli. So start with one meal at a time, and I promise you, once you actually take the effort to switch, not only will you never go back, but you don't even think about animal products as food anymore. Right. So I appreciate the talk. Do you have anything else to add?
I really like hypothetical questions like this.
It's good, right? It's fun.
It really gets the ball rolling.
Oh, yeah, awesome. Thank you, man.
I'm going to go grab a beer. It's pretty cold out.
All right, yeah.